Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Mercedes, also known as That Mom and That Mom Wellness Coach here on the internet. And thank you for coming back to my channel. It's been a little bit, it's been a while. I'm so very sorry. Everything gets really hectic and busy, and I just don't know how to deal with it sometimes, so I get very behind in videos. So I'm very happy for everybody that's here with me today watching this. Yay. Hello, how are you? My 115 subscribers, thank you ever so much for coming back. And for anybody that is over on my website, this will be a little bit familiar because today's video is actually a video that I teased to you guys a couple months ago. I have been writing the script, and I wanted to make sure to get things right and as accurate as I possibly can. And judging by the title of this video, you'll know that I've already done another video kind of essay, not essay, but really a video review on this brand. So, what brand is it? Stasher bag. It is my absolute, so this was like my holy grail in the eco community, and I had seen them on everybody's channels, all of my eco girls, Shell Bizzle, Simple Environmentalist, Sedona Christine, Rainbow Vegan, all that kind of stuff. They all had Stasher bags, and they were all talking about how great Stasher bags were, and I absolutely love them. For me, I can't use the metal containers and everything, so Stasher became like the thing that I wanted to get, because this could fit in my work bag, this could go with my kids to school, this could definitely do things that are not food related and everything. So I, being a new environmentalist, said I need to get at least 12 Stasher bags so that I could have them in my house, so that my family would have the option of doing a reusable instead of a single-use item. And in that video, I believe, my last video on Stasher, I believe I spoke about how they are, they're of course a little bit of a startup fee to get going, but in the end, they save so much. They save a ton of plastic, single-use plastic from going to the landfills. They save in carbon emissions. They save just everywhere. So you will understand my shock and disbelief that earlier this year in 2024, I had heard some buzzing about Stasher being bought out by a mega company. And this mega company also makes single-use plastic bags. So this is my video on, of course, it's my 3-year review to show you guys how they have actually held up in the 3 years that I've had Stasher, how many different bags do I have now, and then what kind of competitors of the Stasher bag do I have, and then also, can I still trust that they're eco-friendly? Can I still say that they're small business and all that kind of stuff? So this was more to answer a lot of questions for me, but I also wanted to share with you guys, because in like every single video, there was always comments saying, I can't believe they sold out, and comments saying that they were great until they sold out. So I wanted to know, along with the rest of you guys, I guess, want to know, where do we stand on Stasher? Can I still stand them? Can I still be a Stasher stan, or what? So let's get into it. And I'm sorry if that was really long and rambly, but I'm always long and rambly. So what is a Stasher bag? First and foremost, so I have a lot of Stasher bags right here. A lot of them are in use right now. I am going to insert a clip right here that I did the other day of all my bags when they were all empty, because I have things in various stages, or at least most of my bags are shown in that. So most of them were empty at the time. I do have some that I've had stuff in for a while, and up until very recently, this raspberry one had frozen mango, like little Lego guys in it, because we like doing frozen pops and everything, and Stashers are just great for that. Hi guys, I wanted to share with you guys 2 ways that I use my stasher bags and my reusable bags that we may not have if they were just a one-time use bag. So the first way is I use my small to-go bags. These ones are the little snack size, to-go size, and I use this one in particular as a ice pack. So you guys know me, I have osteoarthritis, and it's in my knees, it's in my ankles, it's everywhere. So I have this nice reusable ice pack. It's not as like it's cold, but then it's not like burning cold. So, and then when I put it in a cloth to, you know, put something in between my skin and it, you know, it does its trick. It has a little bit of a groove right now because I use it for my knee. My knee's not that bad right now, so I can lift it up. So I use it, and then I can just rinse it off and put it back in the freezer. And another way that I use my reusable bags is I have veggie scraps in these, and I'm going to be making some veggie stock in the fall. So basically I'm almost there when it comes to collecting scraps. I'm going to probably fill this bag, and because there's 5 of us, we need a good amount of stock when we do go to make the veggie stock. I will probably fill up the rest of this bag, and I might use my other stasher. It all just depends. There's a lot of different food scraps in here. I've got carrots, I've got onions, I've got little pieces of broccoli, I've got this one has a lot of onions in it and some celery and everything. So that's another way that I use my reusable bags. And then they fit in the freezer. They work in either my big freezer or even in my inside freezer, even though these ones are getting really full. And this one, I just have it in the door of the freezer. So that's how I use my stashers and my reusable bags that you may not have thought of. Oh, and this ice pack also works great to go on a picnic. When you're hiking, of course not in the middle of the summer, but when you're hiking and you're going on a picnic, these ones are really good ice packs. They stay nice and fresh, and then they don't leak as well into your picnic foods. And then also, I think I also put the clip of my stasher bags, what they are currently holding in the freezer in comparison to the other brand that I have, which is, this is Elo. Let me flip it the right way around. One of my coworkers, lover, got me a 12-pack of these Elo bags when she saw me using these stasher bags. So, and I also have another bag, another reusable bag I have 2 more somewhere, because they are currently holding non-food items, and I think one is in my daughter's backpack, and then one is, I think, it's not in my purse, but it's somewhere because it has non-food items in it, because those ones, the bags, the other bags I have, they are a Temu bag, and I mention in my blog that I'm going to be reading as my script here about the Temu and the competitors, and sometimes them not actually being good for the environment. We'll get to that in a little bit, but back to stasher. Okay, so out of these ones right here, I think this raspberry one I've had the longest. The one that I've had the absolute longest is in use right now, and it's a blue half-gallon bag. And on their website, that bag goes for $21.99 normal price. I won that bag in 2021, July 2021, in a Earth Month bingo card thing on Instagram from the brand. I won my big blue stasher bag, and it was so cool because I said to myself that that is the perfect way to get this started. And also we were able to try the bag without technically buying the bag, so we could see how we liked it and everything. That bag went everywhere with us for that first year. We took it to Medieval Times, we took it to the water park, we took it to the mall, we took it everywhere, because that year my daughter was, of course, my daughter was 1 by the time that I won that bag. So by that year, that Christmas, we had had so much use in the stasher bag itself that we decided that it was time that I could maybe purchase 1 or 2 more. So I got a deal on Amazon, and I think it was a 2 deal, and I want to say it was actually this one and I have a smaller one that I believe I have a smaller one like this that stands up, or it was just this one alone, and another like sandwich bag size. I can't go back far enough in my Amazon to actually see what it is, since the deal itself no longer exists. So like I can see like a version of the deal, but it's not the deal that existed. But anyway, I was able to get those the first Christmas, and I probably spent between the two bags like, I don't know, 30-40 bucks, because they are expensive. Like I said, that one half-gallon bag is normally $21.99, and I got that one for free. So they are a little bit of a hard thing to kind of start up with, and that's what made it so hard for me in the first place to give them a try. That's why I was so excited that I had won the one. But we had gotten enough use out of those ones that we had bought next, and then I believe then after that one, the next set I bought was these two together, the big bowl and the 1-cup bowl. So I like using these for my oatmeal in the morning. I like putting like this one, like I could do like a soup. We put when we made that Yule soup last year, I put a whole bunch of it in here, and I was just eating it like every single day until that soup's gone. Also, in these ones, I have done, like inside this one, I have taken my sweet potato, like cut up into chunks and everything with a little bit of butter, and taken it and steamed it at work. So like I gave it like a good double steam and then let it sit to make it nice and soft. I really like these. I can cook stuff in them in the microwave and everything, which in the blog I do mention that the first thing I actually tried to cook in the microwave, because the website and the Instagram and everything for Stasher was telling everybody that you can put these in the microwave, you can put them in the oven. If you have it on a baking sheet, then you can put it in the oven, I think up to 350 degrees. 50 degrees about the highest it'll go in the oven. So, and it needs to be on a baking rack and everything. So I don't think you can put this one in there standing up in the oven, but you could probably do something like it. And I think I've even seen them putting them in like a rice cooker and cooking something in the bag with it too. So there's a lot of marketing stuff that exists for Stasher with these guys in different cooking situations, like the microwave, sous vide, and of course in the oven, just like I had mentioned. Downside of these bags is the texture of these bags. Since these are silicone, the texture is a little bit off-putting to some. I have family members that cannot stand the way that this thing feels when it's wet. It just doesn't feel right. On the flip side, these Elo bags are also made of silicone, but they are a different thickness of silicone. You can see those two right there. This one blends into this one, everything. It's a different, thickness of silicone, and I think it's probably a different, like, what's the word I was trying to come up with? Probably like a different proprietary blend of how they use their silicone. That's it. That's what I was kind of looking for on how they mix it and everything. So this one's thicker, this one's not as thick, this one doesn't feel as weird when it gets wet. And I know all about Century stuff because at work we use microfiber cloths, and not touch the microfiber cloths without gloves because I'm just weird. Like I can't fold them without gloves or anything because I just cannot stand the feeling of the microfiber. And I use microfibers here, and I tend to put them on the bottom of the Swiffer and use it like that on the walls and stuff. So I don't really touch the microfiber a whole bunch at home, versus at work I'm touching it like every 30 minutes or so. So that was a little rundown of a couple pros and a con, and then I also talked about this guy. One of the big cons from this Elo brand that I already mentioned with the Stasher brand is this one cannot go in the microwave. I have a bag that's all messed up right up in this region, and what it was is that I put it in the microwave with, like, I think a taco or a tamale or something like that. Just something like I had it open like this and I just wanted to vent and I just didn't, or I could have, oh, now I know. It's one of my sandwich size bags, so it's this size bag. And what I did was I used it as a plate and I put a tortilla on top of it to warm it up. So yeah, so that's what I did. I put a tortilla on top of it and I put it in the microwave for like a minute or like 30 seconds or whatever it was, and the front of that one is all messed up. So it was the LO version of this size bag. So this one I can definitely put a tortilla on top of and heat it up, and you can see it's nothing is wrong with it or anything. It's not messed up. The other one, I wish I could find it right now, but it's all like, you can visibly see that it got heated and it got messed up. So that is a big difference between these two companies of bags. So I'm going to read off my script here about the buyout. Okay, so because that actually, like I said, I got my first bag in 2021. The buyout was actually back in 2019, guys. So in January 2018, the brand appeared on the show Shark Tank. And at that point in time, they were a very small business, or they were a small business already selling at least a couple thousand units at the time. So they went onto the show to look for investors. Now, I didn't watch the episode of the Shark Tank to find out what happened in the show, but on their website and on the SC Johnson website, it says that in 2019 they sold to SC Johnson, which is of course a mega company. I went to go search how many products SC Johnson has, and I got a picture with literal like thousands of products, because also they could have, one product, but also have it in 5 different countries. So they have that one product times 5, because in different countries they require different things and everything. So I didn't really count those as like products, but they are in the overall product thing. So I didn't get an actual number of how many products SC Johnson family makes. But it is a ton, which that explained to me why when I first found Stasher, I found them at Target, and I found them at CVS and at Walmart, and I also I was looking to see if I wrote down any other stores, but I saw them in like all the major stores, as well as some of the little refill stores and Sprouts and all that kind of stuff. And I wondered to myself, how did this little brand make it to the shelves of Target? They have the marketing power from SC Johnson family. So as you guys know, shelf space is like a hot commodity. A lot of brands have to pay to have certain shelf spaces, which makes it hard for small indie brands to get into big retailers. So unless you have the marketing cash behind it, you don't really get into the big stores. You're kind of stuck doing like the small like farmers markets and the small stores that you make deals with. It confused me to all end that they were in such big chain retails, and now I know why. But then also, while I was doing all this research, I said, okay, so SC Johnson owns Stasher. They can't own Ziploc as well. They own Ziploc as well. So they have their major competitor under their same umbrella. So even if, say, Stasher were to lose business because some of us found out that they had been acquired by a big mega corporation and didn't know, also saying that, okay, I'm not going to buy anything from them again because they're part of this big mega corporation, they still have Ziploc under their wing. And then vice versa, if people say, okay, I'm going to use this reusable option, they're not going to really feel threatened. But right there, just with Ziploc and Stasher being the same basic thing under the same company, they're not really gonna, have a cow if their main Ziploc loses money because you're buying Stasher now that's underneath their umbrella. So that also kind of goes into my end my end kind of like hypothesis when we get there. So also, in the time that I've known Stasher, I have looked at their website and I have seen their numbers. I have seen the things that they are doing. They are still toting that they are small business. They are still toting that they are women owned. They are still toting that they are Bee Planet certified. They're wrappers. They are still done in like the cardboard wrapping, the recyclable wrapping. They are still doing the Ocean Alliance stuff, all the kind of good stuff that's been on their website throughout the years. They were doing all of this while being acquired still. So I choose to believe that Stasher is still trying to make a good, like keep their original goal of why they started the brand. So it doesn't look like they're actually like slowing down or anything. And I can hope that they in turn tell the mega corporation that owns them that, you know, this is what the customers want to see and we're trying really hard to stay on that. So if you guys could possibly do this a little bit more with the rest of the brands, that would be great, which I need to see, because there are some brands now, which I don't know exactly the parent company and everything, so I'm not going to mention the brands, but I do see major brands toting refills in the store and package free stuff in the store, and you know, one product you can use it 10 different ways in the store and all that kind of stuff. So I still do see those from other big mega corporation brands. So it's only a matter of time to see what'll happen with Stasher and everything. I choose to believe they're trying to make a difference, trying to make a good difference within their big parent company and everything. Time will tell. Now a little bit about the silicone versus the plastic, because I did mention silicone versus plastic on the blog here. So one Stasher bag can replace at least 260 single-use plastic bags. That is what the company says. That is what they're toted as. I have used probably all of my Stashers more than 260 times. So I would say that the resource given to make them was that 260 times. This is the resource of 260 regular plastic bags right here. So if you think about it like that, then that's a lot for one thing. This is going to last me many, many, many more years. And I'm going to get well over that 260 times. I'll probably get somewhere close to 200 million and 60, or 260 million, or something crazy like that, a billion or anything. Because as long as you don't like put a hole in it, or like it melts down and anything, there are so many like troubleshooting things, fix like common problems and everything. So like one of the common problems that they show on their website is that it will stain with like spaghetti sauce and stuff. They tell you exactly what to do to try to get that stain off. A little bit of vinegar, baking soda, and put it out in the sun, and it's supposed to clear right up. I have not had to do that yet. I also have not like poked a hole in my Stashers with like a knife and everything. So I believe that for the resources that were used to make each of these bags, I have well exceeded their like original like net zero kind of thing. I couldn't really find online how many times, or if it can be considered a like a net carbon zero after so long. And I'm still looking. I'm still like, I've gone down rabbit holes and so I would like to do something more on this topic and everything in the future. So if you guys want to see that, I have a membership site, and I do have little monthly membership fees and everything, but those are like the taboo topics that don't really pick up well on like YouTube and stuff. They're more the niche audience and everything. So if you guys are interested in like maybe getting another couple blogs talking about this type of stuff, let me know in those rabbit holes that I went down, because one of the rabbit holes is another thing that I've mentioned a couple times, and actually Stasher is one of the brands that say at the end of its life cycle you can send it to TerraCycle. There is TerraCycle labels now on so many things, so many products that I'm finding now with TerraCycle labels, and at first it made me giddy, so giddy to beyond super excited, happy and everything, but then I got kind of discouraged. So I got discouraged when I started to see all of these TerraCycle labels about a year ago, because I was listening to a lot of the stuff about actually how the recycling the whole process of recycling. Sometimes it's not like what we think, and we actually are wish cycling a lot. So if you were to toss this into the regular recycling, this is probably wish cycled in your area. What I'm meaning is that your area might not have the way to recycle silicone. And if that ends up, it's just going to go right into the garbage. If you send it into TerraCycle, or there are 5 or 6 other companies that I found online that you can send in your old silicone to have them recycle and everything, it's still very niche. So you have to make sure it gets to the place that you want it to go. You can't just wish cycle it into the recycling because it says it can be recycled. Silicone, like plastic, can be recycled. And it's also, I was looking about all of the virgin plastics, the virgin silicones versus the recycled plastics and silicones. So when you have the recycled version, it can't be used with every single thing. Like, there are different standards that a recycled version will have versus the virgin version, which makes water bottles made with virgin plastic so much easier to do than water bottles that are made of 100% recycled plastic. So that's why you see on a lot of those bottles, it's like 50% recycled. There are a million great documentaries about the recycling process and everything, because you can't do, like I said, you can't do certain things with certain grades of material. They have to be a certain grade to be able to do stuff, and to be BPA free and everything. That, of course, is it's virgin silicone basically at that point in time. But there is, with TerraCycle, they say on their website that they can take the stasher bags and make them into pellets that will be on playgrounds and new furniture, like recycled playground benches and stuff like that. So that's really cool. And they create other products. I like the way that works, guys. So this is kind of like, I know I seem really like, is it bad? Is it not bad? The TerraCycle thing is something that I want to go down in another topic, because not everybody has access to that. And by slapping on the label, you're wish cycling still. Because if it doesn't necessarily say recycled, they're going to see that it can be TerraCycled and say, I'll just throw it in the recycling anyway. Maybe they are going to sort it there. Don't throw your plastic bags in the recycling. It just jams up the gears in the recycling machines. So, little FYI, if you guys didn't know that, please stop throwing your store bags and stuff into your recycling. That is completely wish cycling. There are also small YouTube channels that will take the silicone, the recycled silicone. They, on a lot of their channels, say that they take like the recycled silicone molds. So like today I'm using a silicone mold, and it's a jumbo colossal cupcake for my husband's birthday. And I say at the end of that lifespan, if it doesn't work anymore, if there's a hole in it or anything, like I could see if one of these YouTubers would like it and everything, and they are using it in their 3D printers to print new silicone stuff. Which is really cool. I've watched a couple of the videos, and they have a process, and it's pretty cool. But like I said, it's mostly old silicone molds, and they're making kind of new silicone molds for like chocolatiering and stuff like that. So that's really awesome. And resin molds and stuff. That's pretty neat. So I think that's, I'm not going to read my entire blog to you guys because I want you guys to go and read it. Okay, here's a hot take in this whole conversation, is that not all reusable bags are good for the environment. Not all reusable bags are quote unquote eco-friendly. What am I saying? Okay, so take this bag for example. Like I said, you can find it in Target. At the end of that sale period or clearance period, this one came out as a spring color, but now you're in December and you see it on the clearance rack. And you say to yourself, that's fine. You know, I wanted it, but I don't have the money for it, or I wanted it, but like I don't see any use for it or anything like that. I'm just going to leave it. I think no harm in that, because any unused merchandise at the stores goes somewhere. Well, unfortunately, a lot of the times it does end up going to a landfill. Sometimes it goes to secondhand sellers. Sometimes it goes to charity. Sometimes it just depends on what the store and their policies are, what the corporation as well as the local managerial kind of everything about the store. Because I worked at a franchise, and they told us in no way, shape, or form do we like give out old food. There's a whole everything you can find out why a lot of restaurants don't give out their old food at the end of the day. That's also a really awesome rabbit hole to go down. But say that that's what the rule is. You cannot give away any unused food at the end of the night. That's just going to have to go in the trash. Sometimes that happens with products that have been on the shelf, especially say the barcode told you that it came into the store 2 years prior. So that product has been on the shelf for 2 years and it's not moved. If it goes to the landfill, it's a completely brand new thing, and it's just going to sit there and decay. And silicone takes longer to naturally decay than plastic does. In that aspect, reusable bags are not good. The second aspect is that Temu bag that I was talking about earlier. Nowhere on that bag did it say if it was BPA free. Nowhere on that bag or packaging did it say if it was food safe. Now, since I live in Arizona, if I were to use that bag for food, and it's Arizona, it's hot, I take, say, trail mix or something, put it in that bag, and then go out on a trail, and I'm out in the 115 degree weather, 118 degree weather, and I'm eating the contents from that bag. It may not seem like a big deal, but you are ingesting the little bits of like inner that could possibly be coming off. Like it could crack at some point and you can ingest it and everything. And nowhere on that bag does it say that it's food safe. Like that heat is leaching the chemical on the inside. It's making it all nice and hot and warm on the inside. All of your food is now hot and warm. Your food smells like the plastic or the silicone or whatever it is that it's being kept in, and it maybe tastes a little bit different and everything. You have no clue what you're ingesting, especially if nowhere on the packaging does it say it's food safe, it's BPA free, it's any of that type of stuff. It's even okayed by the Food and Drug Administration to be able to be out like it's just in normal use and everything. So that is possibly opening up a window of badness for not only your health, but your family's health. Because if it's you, say it's us, we're really, really informed, we're really looking for things and everything. And it's like, well, it doesn't say it, but I'm going to just assume because it was in the food aisle that it got the okay, but you can't find patents for the brand anywhere. You can't find any other people maybe talking about how that brand is food safe or anything like that. But this is 100% BPA free, food safe, FDA certified. All the patents and everything you can in one way, shape, or form find on the internet and everything, along with the LO and a couple of the other brands. Like I mentioned, Zip Top, you can find their stuff as well. You can do there's a wrap of silicone, like a silicone wrap that you can wrap sandwiches in. Like you can find all the information for all these other brands, but that Temu bag, there was nothing to be able to be found. So that's why we use those for non-food things, and things that aren't going to really, hurt us in the end. Like I think we've got like extra Band-Aids or something in one maybe somewhere, because I want to say the other one I keep in my purse for a long time, and like I'm going through bags and I'm redoing bags and taking out things I don't need anymore. So I will probably find that bag any day now. So when it comes to like the third party brand bags, because even the reusable bags at the dollar store have a giant BPA free listed on them and on the bag. Nowhere on those other bags. That can be very bad. That can be, like I said, bad for your health, bad for your family's health, any of that stuff. And they are selling that product under the guise that people are going to use it for things. They don't know that you're going to use it for food. I mean, they can assume, but they're going to say, well, we never told people that it was food safe. We never told people that they can use it with their food. That's the downside of like eco alternatives and like reusable bags and stuff like this. Is so many companies now see it as like a cash grab. Like we're like, back to Temu. Temu just saw the trend of reusable bags and people being more eco-conscious, and they said, I'm going to take this one and I'm going to roll with it. Just like people were taking, or like Temu and Shein are taking, allegedly taking others' artwork and putting it on shirts and selling that and everything like that. So it's like, and it comes back onto the consumer to be conscious and to be, you know, aware of what we're buying. I personally have never bought from Temu. Never have I bought from Temu. And if somebody has told me that they have a cart on Temu waiting to be purchased, I implore them to please look elsewhere for these items, because especially like electronics, you don't know. Like this, there was many of these. I did like 2 months of research before actually getting this set of microphones. It's a set. I have my second microphone in there, and I still sometimes feel like I'm in a fish tank. But that was in a review. It was in 1 out of like 100 reviews. So I didn't think that was bad. But I just did so much research before I actually bought this pair. I did buy a different pair, which I thought I did my research on too, but it came as an Apple hooked up, and of course I have Samsung, so sorry Apple. But yeah, so that's a little bit more of that right there. But in the end, because okay, this video has been rambly. I'm sorry. I tried to make it not rambly, but this video is going to be rambly. In the end of the question that we came here for, the question that I alluded to at the beginning, the question that is on the blog, the question that is on your mind right now. Am I going to continue to use these? I think I already kind of answered that a little bit, that I am going to continue to use the ones that I have. I am absolutely going to continue to use the ones that I have, because it would be a waste of resources and it would be a waste of money, and they've paid for themselves by now. Yes. Okay. So take out the money factor. The amount of resources that go into making the bag, the amount of resources it takes to ship them, to put them in their packaging, for the person to put them on the shelf, for the person to drive them, or they're in an airplane, or whatever the mode of delivery is, that resource has already been used. You know, the person, hopefully, that's docked it on the shelf got a fair pay. The people that work at the company are hopefully giving, I'm pretty sure that they all believe in the fair pay and equal rights. So keep going with that, guys. And keep going with whatever pledges that you do have, and try to influence your big company to be more, you know, because we can every year trace back half the carbon emissions, more than half of the carbon emissions. What you have to do is YouTube search X company and carbon emissions. Somebody has a detailed video essay like this on said brand and everything, and their negative effects on the world and like the eco community as a whole. Another brand that this kind of happened to was, of course, Native, and that was kind of hard. But I haven't bought a new Native product since then. I have been given a Native product since then, and I still use it. I'm not going to let the resource go to waste. If somebody were to gift me 12 more stasher bags, I'm going to use them. Plain and simple. If I find them secondhand at a yard sale, I will probably buy them because they're good, and then that's secondhand. So I didn't buy directly from, but I bought it secondhand, and I'm keeping it out of the landfill. If I were to find them on the clearance that we were talking about earlier, like the first, I think this one I actually did buy at Target, and this one was on clearance, and I want to say it was like under $20 to buy it, and I was really super excited to find it. And it's in the raspberry. It's the only one of the raspberry color that I have, and I really like it. And yeah, I'm not going to stop using it anytime soon. I just will not be buying full price from their website, from Amazon. I try not to buy from Amazon anymore, but that's been a real struggle. It's been a super real struggle, guys, because everything is on Amazon. So I hope that kind of answers the question. So I'm going to continue to use them. I'm just not going to buy brand new from the company or one of the stores. I'm going to do my best to keep them out of the landfill, and I might also gift some to whoever. If I give you something in a stasher and I'm like, I have enough of that one, maybe I'll just be like, here, just keep that one too, keep it along with what's inside of it as like the whole gift, because then they can continue to reuse and reuse and reuse. A negative that I did get told, and their website says one thing and the person says another thing, was I've been told by not just my best friend, but a couple people, that they've had stashers melt in the dishwasher. And the website says that they are supposed to be dishwasher safe up to like 350 degrees. So I don't know if those were just like flukes in the system, or if the washer was set higher, or if they were just, on the bottom rack instead of the top rack. I was just told that they melt. These guys, I think on them say don't put in the dishwasher for sure, but then we already talked about what the microwave does to them. But yeah, I don't have a dishwasher. I am a dishwasher. So anything, yeah, so thank you guys for joining me for this video. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble, and I'm going to ask you guys a question right now is, what are your thoughts on stasher bag? Have you tried stasher yourself? Are you going to try them? Have you heard the hoopla? Have you maybe seen the comments about them selling out and everything? What's your thoughts? What do you think? What's your thoughts? What do you think? That's the same question twice. I'd love to know. I'd love to know, and I'd love to have your feedback on what you guys saw of this video. And please go and read my blog on my website. It's linked at the bottom in my description, in my link tree. Let me know what you think, and yeah, we'll hopefully do this again very soon, like a nice in-depth essay like this, and a blog to go with it on the website. So yeah, thank you guys so very much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful start of fall. It's spooky season officially. Well, we have to get through my husband's birthday today, and then it's officially spooky season. But we have some spooky stuff up already, and I have our decorations outside, and I am dying, in a metaphorical sense of the word, to put them up. So anyway, yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video very soon. And thank you guys so much for joining me. We'll see you later. Bye.